the number 666 and what does it mean? And obviously it's the mark of the beast. And I've had a feeling for a long time of what it would be, which I'll share with you, but as I was doing some math this morning, there is another alternative that it could be. Not saying it is, just that it could be. So I'll give you both alternatives. Now again, I think the one is kind of easy. So, as it comes to the mark of the beast, we know it's listed as 666. We also know a few other things about the anti-Messiah, or the Antichrist, and that is that he's going to come from the pit. He's one of 7 prior leaders, and I think we can pretty well lock down who those would be without too much of a real stretch. I would think Nimrod, Baal, Gilgamesh, Nimrod the mighty hunter, and then of course, you've got the Tower of Babel. He confuses the language, so Nimrod's name gets translated in all these different other names, Baal, Gilgamesh, Zeus, right on through, depending upon which language group you're at. Antiochus IV, the Syrian, he's the one who obviously came in, put the pig on the altar, put a statue of Zeus in the temple, so he's not a good guy. Pharaoh of Egypt, again, he's most likely there. King of Tyre, we have in the Bible, and Alexander the Great, who came through and went through Judea. Then we have the one who was at the time of the writing of Revelation. It could be Nero, Trajan, Hadrian, Vespasian, Pius, Titus, Domitian, or Nerva. And the one who is to come for a short time is most likely Hitler. And you could say, well, Stalin killed more people, and Mao wasn't really a good guy, and Pol Pot was a massive killer. Yeah, but the issue is who's got it in for the Jews, and that would clearly be Hitler. So, and I did a prior study on the Satan, the dragon, Satan, the beast, and which again we can pretty well lock in the beast because he's from Magog. It's Ezekiel 39, which we know is Russia, Ukraine, or Georgia, so it's pretty well easy to lock that in. So those people who say, oh, it's got to be Trump, no, it doesn't fit the location. Those who say he's got to be Prince Philip or Prince Charles, whoever it is, somebody from England, doesn't fit the location. So you've got a verse, you've got a chapter actually who's locking those particular individuals out. But again, he's going to be one of those particular people, and I think we all know he's going to be Baal, who is the biggest nemesis that we have through the Bible coming up. So, as it comes to Baal and Gilgamesh, do we see 666? And the issue is yes, in the Epic of Gilgamesh, and I don't want to go too far down this line, but I'll give you the quote. 2/3 of him is God, 1/3 of him is human. The great goddess Aruru designed the model for his body. She prepared his form, beautiful, handsomest of men, perfect. So again, I don't want to go down there too far, but what is 2/3? 2/3 is 66.6%. So we have the identification of who that's going to be. That's Baal. Again, he's in the pit. He's going to just come up and possess a body. The 8th body is nothing more than a body he's waiting to possess. So I think we've got that one pretty well locked in as to where that number comes and the number. Much more important, though, or just as important, is figuring out why he would say he is 2/3 God. Because the statement in and of itself is just whoop-de-doo. It's the understanding of why. And he's going to come out and say, I am 2/3 God. And your Messiah, Jesus, is only 1/2 God. So I am a greater percentage. Doesn't matter that he's self-ordained as that percentage or anything. But that presupposes that when the Messiah was born, he was 1/2 human and 1/2 God, which is absolutely incorrect. He never lost his divinity. He was God. He came to earth. He was God. And died as God, rose as God, and it's 100% the whole way through. Rose and is currently in heaven as 100% God. It never changed. And the easiest way to think of that in today's society is a surrogate mother. That's the statement of who Mary is. Basically the Creator would have placed a zygote there, or the Holy Spirit would have placed a zygote, and so in other words, he's not one half. But I can see when Baal comes back, the beast, saying, he's only one half, I'm 2/3, so I'm the greater. Just an argument that I can see him making. Doesn't change anything, doesn't change the fact he's false. And he is false. He's not 2/3, number one, and the Messiah was never one half. Now that's I think a pretty clear indication through 66.6 for the number. There's another one that I was looking at this morning which also comes pretty close to applying and may actually apply to basically be, it may be more than one thing. As I was looking at the armies that would come with the beast, we know he's got 10 horns, 10 different leaders that would join with him to give him power. Since we know that realistically it's Russia, it's pretty simple to say, okay, what are the countries that are aligned with Russia? And the number one country that's aligned with Russia is China. They've got over 2 million people in the army. Then the next one is going to be India. And India's got about 1.44 million people in the army. The third largest army, but not one I don't think that will align, was the United States. I think they're going to defeat us and wipe us out. And then the next one is going to be just Russia itself. And then again, it's going to come in with Syria, Turkey, Iran, most likely Iraq as well, and I would think Egypt as well. Now, when you add all those things up, and then we know it's not going to be with Jordan, because it's told that he does not mess with Ammon, Moab, or Edom. So he's not coming in with Jordan. But when we look at those numbers for those armies, and again, we have 10, and I can't really identify who all the 10 are. There's some other qualified candidates, and I've looked at their army sizes. But amazingly, that army size comes up at right around 6.6 million people for the size of the army. Now that's interesting, because maybe this is the size of the army that he has available. Not saying the army he comes with, but what he has available for him to come with. Now, Israel has 176,000 people for the army. 176,000 versus 6.6 million. One's much greater. Who can wage war with the beast? He's got the armies. He's got the largest army out there, and if the United States is out of the picture, the most well-equipped army as well as just a truckload of people. Again, it won't really make too much of a difference to us. Hopefully we will be gone at that time. As soon as the abomination occurs, those in Judea leave, and we leave shortly thereafter at Passover. But, and again, so I don't want to do too much where I try to find out the dark secrets of Satan and go down that road. But it's a quick identifying thing that it could be two things. Now, the army, it might be, it might not be. And it's just kind of interesting. It's right around that number right now. Will it actually be the correct number? I don't know. We're not at that time yet. Could be, maybe not. But the other one, I think, is pretty clear. It's got 66.6. And if you want to keep running the sixes right on down the line, that's 2/3 God. So, anyway, just something to think about.